Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Tide. Today I'm going to be talking about Fantasy Blacksmith. Fantasy Blacksmith is a blacksmith simulator where you try to work your way to get to the top of the blacksmith industry. You want to be the best of the best, so there is a casual ranking system, which I'm assuming is of the AIs, given that this is a single player game only. It's a market-based game. You make the weapons, you sell the weapons, and you get a profit, therefore being able to buy and sell more things. The premise of the game is pretty simple. You just make weapons and sell them. There is enchantments and stuff you can get later on in the game, like lightning, fire, and stuff like that that you can bind to the weapon, I guess. Other than that, it's pretty self-explanatory. Do keep in mind this is a new release of a early access game, so there are obviously going to be bugs and flaws in the game that make it not perfect. The steps of making a sword are pretty simple. You heat up the metal, you beat the metal, you put on the handle, and then you put on the pommel. The graphics in the game aren't bad, they're reasonable. I would say up to par for a basic early access game. It does, or the rooms themselves feel a little lonely and dark, and being completely isolated and nothing really to do, it ended up hindering my experience because it hit to the point where I've made all my weapons and I was waiting for people to knock on my door to sell them to weapons, but it was just kids needing their weapons sharpened and people trying to buy weapons that I didn't have. But I'll go ahead and take you through the steps of making a weapon. First, you gotta heat it up and beat it out. After you beat the weapon, you gotta pick it up and cool that bitch off because she's hot. Then you have to take it to the fitting station where you will fit the garb handle and the pommel on. It's pretty simple. You just gotta get 3 good hits on it, on each of them, and you're pretty good. Then you take your round sword to the grinder. Then you take the sword upstairs for display to sell it to people. This is the closest thing you get to human interaction. To purchase things, you go to this little map. Eventually you'll unlock more places. Currently I only have the village unlocked. You unlock the town once you sell 2 or 3 swords, and they sell steel and whatnot, but you have to buy, or you have to upgrade your forge to actually make it, which is one of the mistakes I had, and probably one of the reasons why it hindered my performance. This game does still need some or a good amount of polishing. I did run into quite a few issues in the game, like improperly heating up weapons. The thermostat is very touchy. The tongs automatically grab onto the metal, which doesn't sound like an issue, but when you're trying to place something somewhere, it automatically snaps to it, and unlike casual delay, which would be nicer. The rooms themselves are casually bare, which isn't a huge issue, but you do only have 2 floors. I do see why they added a little mini game. It's a thing of dice you can buy for $100, but at the time I was so broke that I couldn't really afford anything, as I was living sword to sword. Do keep in mind this game is still super early access. It literally launched a day or 2 ago, and it is still rough around the edges, but it has potential, and that's what I'm really hoping for, is that the developer still works on it, and will work on it and continue working on it, because it can be more than what it is, but it's still rough around the edges. Let me know what you guys think about Fantasy Blacksmith down in the comments section. If you guys want to see me play anything, go ahead and drop them down there too, and if you guys want to see more, subscribe.